He's an internet lawyer, oh yeah. He's an experienced liar, oh yeah. He's got a DUI, baby, and a bunch of full ladies with tales to tell. Do you need a lot to save the day? Do you have a problem that should go away? It's just $50,000 to retain today. Trump stamp a liar, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Internet lawyer, oh yeah. Trump stamp lawyer, oh hell yeah. Oh yeah. He fought for the rights of the dirty.com to lie about teens and even their moms. There's a string of suicides, ruined lives. Don't get fucked, special ed, he says it's fine. Trump stamp a liar, oh yeah. Dish a little lawyer, oh yeah. Hashtag a lawyer, hey yeah. Did you go out on an NFL player? Did you blow your chances with shady behavior? Did you stalk and lie about a couple of babies? Call Trump stamp lawyer, he likes crazy ladies. You've never read Emotion, Life is your chump. He'll write in rainbow markers and fucking blame Trump. Hashtag yikes, Texas yuck. Motion denied, just bad luck. Oh yeah. Internet lawyer, oh yeah. Trump stamp lawyer, oh hell yeah. Oh yeah. Hashtag lawyer, oh hell yeah. Do you need a lot to save the day? Do you have a problem that should go away? It's just $50,000 to retain today. Trump stamp a liar, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Internet lawyer, oh yeah. Trump stamp lawyer, oh hell yeah. Oh yeah. Hashtag lawyer.
Legally, I know that doesn't make any sense, but that is irrelevant. If I go
It's
on,
not irrelevant.
it is
You know
absolutely no.
That
it
is not irrelevant. You know it.
Hashtag yikes, Texas yuck. Motion denied, just bad luck.
Can I sue you for that? Can I sue you for that?
I think what you do is reprehensible. I don't like it.
Stamp lawyer, oh hell
Can I sue you for that?
Oh yeah. Hashtag lawyer, oh hell yeah.
Can I sue you for that?
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the show. It's a Laura Owens update and a LOLYER update. Oh my God, what has he been up to? They've been up to a lot. And here to help me break it down is, of course, the wonderful, the famous Dave Neal. Dave Neal, you're just kicking everyone's ass. Where are you? You're kicking everyone's ass. Yes, you're very famous now. I see that you're very famous now.
Trust me, if I was famous, I wouldn't be here with you right now. I would be big time
That's
you.
true. That's true. You would not be taking my calls.
Like,
And,
Megan, what?
Zooming in from a Holiday Inn, as Dave pointed out, is Bruce the Moose. No longer in the tech van. Bruce is in a house
No.
again.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we are,
How are you? Good to see you.
living the dream.
Well, gentlemen, we have so many new documents. Would you guys like to fill me in on what I've missed while I've been in a what the hell's hellhole? It appears that there have been multiple filings, but first let's start out with the update from yesterday. So baby Jingy was supposed to be in court in Maricopa County yesterday for his DUI, and it got pushed again. Does anybody have any thoughts on that?
Who's pushing it? Him or the? I have no idea.
Who knows? According to oh God, what's his name? What's the
Rob.
guy who went to the Rob? Thank you. I'm sorry, Rob. I'm so sorry. I can't remember names. According to Hey Rob, and I did subscribe to his channel yesterday. Go subscribe. He was in the courtroom. The judge allowed the lawyer to just come waltzing in, tell a few jokes to the clerk, hand some papers over, and just like, yeah, okay, we'll continue.
You know, it'll be interesting to see this because I hate when people take care of their own. When cops do it, when judges or lawyers, it's like if they don't just treat this like a normal case, like you'd treat anybody, that'll be super annoying. I kind of feel like Jingras has grown up in that place of privilege where he just always feels like he can talk his way out of things, and it's annoying. He doesn't give that respect to anybody else. And he's really just, I've stepped away for a little bit. You forget how moronic, how could somebody listen, if anyone's trying to pursue their dreams out there, if David Jingras could fall up the ladder to become a lawyer, you can do anything you want, because this guy's a goddamn moron.
That's true. That is true. That's true. And for some reason, I'm a lawyer magnet. And out of all of the lawyers that I have come across in this line of work, he's not even the dumbest. He's not even the dumbest. I'll have to tell you offline about the latest one. I can't divulge what I just found out about the latest one I'm looking at. But my God, the things these people will do to avoid accountability is really insane. It reaches an insane level. And if this judge, so what I didn't like about the report from inside the courtroom was that the judge asked the reporter sitting in the courtroom, because he was the only one there. He asked him, "Are you here for some reason?" And he said, I'm observing. And he said, "Well, are you looking at a certain case?" And he said, "Yes, I'm looking at David Jingras and versus the state, but I'm also going to watch other cases." And so the judge knew. And then when it came time to hear that case, he mumbled under his breath quietly to the lawyer, basically off the record, so that he couldn't hear what was even being said. So now we have to go into the record and find the documents and find out what actually happened. Was it a continuance? That's bad behavior by a judge. And I don't know if it's because he is a lawyer, or if it's because the lawyer that he hired, they're all buddy. They know each other. There was a report that the lawyer, Jingras's lawyer, was joking around with the judge right before. This is how they behave. I have witnessed this in court. I was at a trial, a criminal trial, for attempted kidnapping and medical abuse. And we're in there waiting for this woman's life is on the line. And we're in there, and the prosecutor and the defense attorney and the judge are all up by the bench, yucking it up like it's a Friday afternoon at the water cooler. I feel like that kind of behavior should never happen in front of people in a courthouse. It should when you're in a court, the prosecutor and the defense attorney, you're on opposite sides. You need to act like it. You need to act at least until we leave the room. And you need to not be interacting with the judge like your golf buddies. Gross.
Yeah, it's a club and we're not in it. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. All right. Yeah. So what we are supposed to be doing here today is we're going to bring up David Gingras. Have you guys read the whiny filing that he filed in California?
Yeah, it's related to the Mike Maricini DVRO renewal. And so apparently Jingras, who's no longer representing Miss Owens in that case, sort of filed this, I don't know what you would call it, a motion, but he's not a litigant. He filed a notice, I guess, and a bunch of motions. And we get to see the declaration that he wrote to support his motions, but we haven't seen all the motions yet.
Yeah, it's absurd. It is absolutely absurd. I'm gonna bring that up right now. I actually have never seen anything like this before, ever in my life. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what he was claiming to be doing.
Probably peppermint schnapps. Probably some Adderall and Molly. I don't know. The guy's he's a dangerous combination of substance abuse and too much free time. But he does look like he's lost some weight, so that's good.
He does. Where have you seen him recently?
I thought he's been losing weight. He's got high calf muscles. He's really
his gym photos.
Yeah. Listen, maybe he's on Laura's Ozempic. I got no idea, but I do
HCG diet.
Yeah, I do think it's interesting to see the psychology of him spiral, and he's unable to stop scratching the itch of justice for Clayton community. It's the biggest troll job of all time. And as I've spoken to some folks making, docuseries about this, I just keep on highlighting how under the skin, Laura should be so pissed that her lawyer spent so much time battling people where it didn't matter, and he just couldn't help himself. And it was fun to watch. And I tip my cap to all the Justice for Clayton community who really got him to admit to lies. They got him to admit to things that Laura never even offered before. And it was all because of his own ego, and he couldn't shut the fuck up.
Yes, he has a problem with shutting the fuck up. We keep telling him that would be ideal. I'm having a difficulty downloading the... I'm having difficulty opening his declaration. I don't know if it's me or what. Bruce, do you happen to have it? The declaration of David Gingras in California?
Oh my gosh.
It won't open for me.
I know we have the links or possibly the files directly in Discord. I can take a look.
I don't know why it's giving me an error. I had it open the other day. I don't know what the problem is. But this tracks. I should have opened it before. Obviously, I had it open on my desktop. I don't know what I did with it though.
Well, I'll take
I must have
the time
closed
to
it.
make a public service announcement. The point I was making about David Gingras while you figure this out is we all need to do a better job of not talking to strangers online. It's destroying our country. There's bots. There's people that aren't real. Even real people online aren't real. And you guys know this. Every once in a while I'll snap back on somebody, but for the most part, I don't mess with strangers unless it benefits me monetarily, like if I'm going to use it for my show. Jingras can't help himself. He's burnt out over it. He's trying to convince people of things that just aren't true. He's done it from the beginning. People thought they could rationalize with him for a little bit, and you can't change people's minds. Just go pick a hobby, quit doing it. I guess he's on Blue Sky now. Maybe he thought Twitter was the problem. It's not an app that's the problem. It's within you. He's got this urge, this attachment disorder to win over people. It's not going to happen. You're wrong. You picked a bad client to, stick your whatever your credibility to, whatever you want to call it. He's got I think Jingras has one fan, one person that could be him. It could
Is
be.
that a real person? Come on.
I don't think it's a real person. I'd love to know. No one's really looked in, but I don't know if it's a real person. But he's got one sort of dick rider that doesn't know enough about what's going on, that believes what he says. Yeah, who knows?
Okay, apparently this is a me problem. This is a Brad problem. Oh my God, Brad. My PDF reader, I guess, is not working. Something happened because it won't open anything, even the one that he sent me. That is so bizarre. Let me try it this way. Let me open Firefox. Not now. Not Firefox. What the hell is that thing called? What is my PDF reader called? Foxit. That's what it is. There. All right.
Not
we'll
Acrobat.
try it this way. No, it's not Acrobat. My God. Okay. So while I'm trying to figure this out, make sure that you guys, one of the things that I need to get done today is I'm going to San Francisco. I've bought the plane ticket. I've put my credit card on a hotel, which is not paid for yet, which is a little scary. But I know that you guys will help me finish getting there. You've already been extremely generous, and you guys have almost funded my entire trip. I have pinned the link to the Give, Send, Go in the top of the chat. And it is, we're almost there. And if there's anything left over, by the way, whatever I don't spend in San Francisco for just my expenses, I will be saving for Maricopa County for the criminal trial. Dave, are you going to San Fran?
No, I've actually got a baseball. I'm an adult baseball tournament because my mom told me I could do anything I want in life. And I will be in Florida for a week throwing fast and hard cheese.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's really fun. Although I'm going to really miss you and the in the parking lot.
I would have absolutely gone. Yeah. I mean, San Francisco is lovely, but it's not exactly the thing I want to travel for. But, I thought the case, maybe it's the Arizona one. The Arizona case is getting moved, right?
Moved? Well, okay. So it's in January, as far as I know right now. Has it been moved further out than January? I was assuming it would be.
I thought the court paper, I thought the latest court filings said that it's going to move. Well, I know this. They haven't offered her a plea. I think they have to offer her something. Lawyers that have talked to me said it's going to be like a minimum of 3 to 5 years in jail, even the plea deal. It's
wow.
Could you imagine when did we meet? A year and a half ago? Could you imagine almost 2 years ago? Fast forwarding to this, where we're at here. I mean, have you ever covered a case that ended up getting so serious so fast? It's it's like you just don't think that there's actually any accountability that's going to happen.
Yeah, I know. And we've had so many great things that have occurred in this case. It's a real, God, it's amazing. When we look back on it after everything that we've all been through, I think this is going to be one of the most epic cases I've ever covered. I know for a fact that it is one of the most. I've never seen anything like this happen. You know, my sister's been an attorney for 20 years. She's never seen anything like this happen. It's just, and it's only going to get better because Laura Owens can't stop. If she would just stop her nonsense, she could mitigate the damage, but she wouldn't stop. She's not going to stop. All right, I finally got it. Well, I am a tech genius. I did it on my own.
An unpopular take is that I have a soft spot in my heart for Laura Owens. I do. And it's been a good example of my growing grace and compassion for someone with a mental health issue. Now, does that mean I don't want her to stop what she's doing? No, I want to take the keys out of the ignition and I want to get her, the help she needs. I'd rather see her in a mental health facility actually working on her issues than a prison. I think the whole system's messed up. I don't think, she comes out of a prison with a tattoo, a snake tattoo on her neck, learning how to make Latin prison shanks. I don't think that's going to solve the issue. Then she's going to be both dangerous online and in person. Like, let's not make her a dangerous, I don't need Barry's boot camp coming at me.
What do you think women's prison is like in Arizona exactly?
Listen, I did background work on Orange is the New Black. So
they're not going to send her to a place like that. She's going to be doing cross stitch and psychological classes. I don't know.
I can't remember there was a celebrity who had to go to prison this week for 4 days for a DUI. Jay Cutler. And I'm like, man, 4 days in prison. If they give you your Netflix, I could catch up on so many shows.
Wait, did they send him to Cook County? Jay Cutler's in Chicago, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure.
Oh God. 4 days in Cook County. 4 days in Cook County is basically like 4 years anywhere else.
Oh boy.
Seriously, I wouldn't want to spend 15 minutes in the county jail in Cook County. Not 15 minutes. That's why Jussie Smollett.
Maybe he could,
Well, that's true. And he's also a football player. But because a person like him, though, they'd be after to make a point. You're a big guy, you're a big NFL player, I'm going to kick your ass. Cook County is one of the roughest jails in the country. Not to mention, so that's why Jussie Smollett threw an absolute fit about going to county and why they got him out of there so fast, because he was terrified he was going to get murdered. Cook County's no joke. I wouldn't spend any time. Oh, God. I hope is that where he went?
I think they're sending him to Alcatraz. Didn't they open that up? No, he's in Williamson County Jail in Tennessee. So he's going to be
he's fine.
Tennessee.
Yeah, he's
fine.
He's going to be just.
What is he in jail for?
4 days for a DWI.
Oh, just see, that's where Jingy should be. Why the hell isn't he in jail? Why is he walking around? He doesn't even have to show up at court, apparently. Do you think if you got a DUI, you'd be able to not show up at court?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
It's pretty wild.
It's going to get worse. We're in like a little window here of the eye of the storm. It's going to get worse with Gingras and Laura. I don't know what's next.
I think the thing is they know how to play the games, right? Like, it's been 4 months. It's going to be 5 months by the time we get to his next status conference at the end of October, I think is when it is, when Rob said he had to go back. But they're just playing this game of saying, oh, maybe they're like someone in chat said, they're waiting for discovery for the maybe the police have a breathalyzer or something.
You know what's funny too is
they know how to play the game, though, right? You and I, we don't know how to do that.
That's true.
He thinks that people will go away if he just is quiet for a minute. We're like cicadas. You could go 7 years. Give me 7 years of nothing. 17 years of nothing. You want to open your fucking mouth? I want to be coming out of the ground. We are not. This audience is. I've got that.
It's true.
Gather the Clayton community. We're not going anywhere.
We're
In
not.
fact, I'm just more well rested at this point.
And we're not going anywhere. And actually having the nice, like the breaks in between has been nice, because then when we come back to it, there's just a renewed energy about it. And thanks for all of you for showing up, all 692 of you. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. If you were subscribed before and you think you're still subscribed, make sure you check, because YouTube is asshole, and sometimes they go through and they cull what they think are bots, and you could be one of them. So please check the subscribe button on my channel. And if you got unsubscribed, resubscribe today and turn on your notification bells. And also make sure you subscribe to my fabulous guests, Dave Neal and also Bruce the Moose, because they are awesome and they deserve your support. I also have, if you guys have not tried super tips, those are fun as well. supertip.gg/Megan Fox. And there is a way to send your super chats with AI voices, which of course are for satire and parody purposes only. They are not real. There are no real people being forced to say these things. It's just a computer, but it is a lot of fun, and it does support the show. But also make sure.
Yeah, super tip is what Clayton gave Laura that got us into this mess. The old super tip. That's when you get the point. Make me explain it. All right. I got it up here. So that's what she said. My name is David Gingras, David S. Gingras. I am a United States citizen or resident of the state of Arizona. I'm over 18 years of age. If called to testify in court or other proceeding, I could and would give the following testimony, which is based upon my own personal knowledge. Yeah, he's over 18. His girlfriend might not be. I am an attorney licensed to practice law in the state of California since 2002, in Arizona since 2004. I graduated from the University of San Fran School of Law in May 2000, where I was a member of the USF Law Review for 2 years.
Does anyone care about that? Why is he telling people, this judge, that he was a member of the USF Law Review?
It's SEO.
8,000 years ago.
Yeah, dusting off his LinkedIn.
I think he maybe created this through AI from his LinkedIn, and that's why all this is in here. Yeah.
Bruce, you want to take paragraph 3?
Yeah. I'm an active member in good standing with the state bars of Arizona and California.
Objection! Facts not in evidence. Facts not in evidence.
How can you be in good standing if you have 11 bar complaints pending against you? That doesn't seem like it would be good standing.
He's wobbling. He's definitely wobbling right now.
Wobbling standing. Tenuous.
I'm not sure he's standing on 2 feet.
I'm admitted to practice and in good standing with the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 6th, 9th, and 10th Circuits, the United States District Court for the District of Arizona, and the United States District Courts for the Northern, Central, and Eastern Districts of California. Okay.
I previously represented a woman named Laura Owens in a case filed in Maricopa County Superior Court here in Phoenix, entitled Owens v. Eckerd, case number whatever.
I was initially hired by Miss Owens on March 25th, 2024. Shortly after being retained, I learned the case gained a large amount of attention on social media. My belief was the case attracted attention in part because a party, Clayton Eckerd, was previously the star of a popular reality TV dating show called The Bachelor.
Does anybody here get the idea that he's telling on himself about why he got involved in this case?
A little bit, yeah.
Because I feel his excitement. I feel the erection coming through this paragraph where he's like, shortly after it gained a large amount of attention on social media.
Can we rewrite this? They brought me in after 7 lawyers left because they had better things to do.
I actually think this is incorrect. I think he probably knew the case had notoriety when he got the email soliciting a new lawyer, which would have been before he was retained.
Yeah.
Because the Sun article was already out there.
Yeah, right.
Coverage.
So is he trying to tell us that he didn't know this was a case with a lot of attention on it when he was billing himself as an internet lawyer?
Yeah, I don't really believe it.
Come on. Yeah, no, I don't either. But also, I think it tells you why he got involved in it. Because he loves the attention, man. This guy is an attention hoe, like no attention hoe I ever seen before. I'm just saying. Bruce, I think it's your turn.
Yeah. In addition, the case also seemed to attract a large amount of attention due to the unusual allegations it involved. Specifically, Mr. Eckerd accused Miss Owens of faking a pregnancy and then using that as leverage to force him into an unwanted romantic relationship. Oh boy.
Hmm.
I mean, if you read the emails, you know, the tight email, all that jazz. I mean,
Yeah.
what other conclusion is there? Anyway.
I don't know. The dating contract it's pretty good evidence that she was trying to force him into a relationship. My work on the Owens v. Ecker case was primarily limited to presenting legal arguments regarding certain Arizona rules of family law procedure. However, in addition to that work, I also assisted Laura pro bono with responding to inquiries about the case from lawyers, journalists, and others. And by responding, he means making an ass out of himself on social media. Now, this is the part where my friend Ian Runkle, who I invited to be here today, but he didn't know if he was going to be able to make it. He is a lawyer in Canada, has a big, huge channel. He went over this on Monday night, and his big question is something I had not even considered because I didn't even know what it was. But apparently, in order for him to be telling these details in a public court document, he needs to have something called a waiver from his client, because some of this stuff could be considered attorney-client privilege. I wanted to ask Ian about that. About what type of information should he, does he need this waiver for? And we don't know if he has one or not. Now, I'm assuming he covered his bases and he did that, but just thinking about it is kind of like, oh, geez, you're right. What if this is not information that she agreed to letting him? Lawyers are not supposed to go talking about their cases and what they did and how they did it.
Yeah, it's like when a big fish eats a small fish, and then that fish eats another fish, and it goes down. It's like, what if? Hold on, now stick with me here. What if Laura sues Jingras, and then Clayton can sue Laura, and then Woodnick gets the money, and somehow I get a free dinner out of it? I don't know how that works.
Breadsticks for everyone. We're going.
Oh, if my breadsticks are paid for by Jingy, I would. Oh, that would carbo load.
We're going to Olive Garden, Dave.
I'm going to order the prime rib.
We're going to go to the house of prime rib. Honestly, if we raise enough money in the fundraiser, Rosalind and I are going to the house of prime rib. Although I just found out that you have to start making reservations a year in advance for that place.
Yeah.
So I don't even think we can get in
I
year.
heard it's a little overrated too. I don't know.
I wonder if Laura would hook us up with a reservation. Like honestly, if we reached out, I think maybe she would offer a little olive branch there.
Can we get the sweet Ron Owens hookup? Yeah.
Can we get the sweet? What if we just tell them that? What if we just give them Laura Owens' name? Maybe they'll just put us right in.
Some dusty ass corner table that they have. They just dust it off. It's got some little like shrine, one of those Jesus candles.
Oh.
I do have a famous name. Sometimes that works in my favor for dinner reservations. I could try it. We'll see what happens.
We'll test out my fame. We'll see what pull I have in the. Don't hold your breath. Don't be too hungry.
Oh my gosh. Where were we? I don't know whose turn it was. I don't remember what we were reading. Oh, you finished 7? Yeah. Okay. All right. So it's you, Bruce.
One person who inquired about the Owens v. Eckert case is a lawyer named Omar Serrato. I did not previously know Mr. Serrato, and I first became aware of him on May 23rd, 2024, when Laura forwarded an email Mr. Serrato sent asking questions about the case.
Objection. So he misrepresents this entire thing. And I wish I was screaming at the screen when Ian was reading through this, because Ian didn't have the context of the fact that Laura reached out to Omar first. So the email that Omar sent her was a response to her inquiry, right? Right? That is how that happened, right?
He leaves out the background context in a lot of these bullets, and I can understand. He's just saying, well, this is when I became aware of it, and everything before that, I wasn't there, so I'm not.
It wasn't on my time.
I understand. Yeah, I mean, I understand it, but it does remove the context.
But these lies that are coming up right now are egregious. After reviewing Mr. Serrato's questions on May 24th, I sent him a lengthy email response. Oh, I'm sure it was lengthy, sir. I'm sure I've seen your responses. I believe my email to Mr. Serrato, which was sent with Laura's permission, was friendly, professional, and otherwise routine. I'm going to have to get my hands on that email. Omar, would you forward those to me, please? I simply answered Mr. Serrato's questions and asked him to let me know if he needed more information.
Whenever
Okay.
Jingras says he simply did something, it is way more complicated than that. I interviewed a psychologist on my show who I didn't even know had the Laura Owens connection. We were just there to talk about the government and cults and things like that. And she showed me the email that Jingras sent to her, being like, I don't know who you are, because this psychologist spoke with Reality Steve, and this psychologist was also on Laura Owens' podcast back in the day. So Jingras sends her this lengthy letter, like, who are you? You don't know what you're talking about. She's like studied at Stanford Law under Stanford. She got a degree under some of the greatest psychological professors and all this. She works at she's a college professor. She's got so many accolades that some janky ass work from home lawyer was questioning her credibility. It was insane. And it just goes to show that, like, when you get an email from Jingras, you're like, oh, maybe I'm wrong. But when you combine all these emails, we should all have merch for everyone who's gotten an email from Jingras, because we're all in some weird, collective that we shouldn't be in. That's how to deal with this insanity.
Oh yeah, some of those. Do you remember those emails that were submitted to the court? Were between him and Woodnick's office were insane, threatening to send Isabel to the bar and all of this crazy shit for what he thinks is professional and, okay. It's really not. Dave, I think you're on 10.
I later learned that in addition to his law practice, Mr. Serrato has a YouTube channel called The Tilted Lawyer, where he publishes videos commenting on various subjects. While I was not aware of this at the time, apparently Mr. Serrato had published a series of videos harshly attacking and criticizing Laura.
No. So again, this timeline is totally wrong. Omar did not start doing videos until after all of this happened, right? It wasn't before this. They reached out to him. He responded. They wouldn't come on or whatever. They were negotiating. Then he does one stream where he listens to he's looking at all their evidence. He's going through the evidence that they sent him.
Right.
And he does one stream. And as he's going through the evidence, the chat's giving him other stuff, right? And he's looking at the other evidence. And about 45 minutes in, he's like, oh God, these are all lies, and his timeline is completely false. I think this is fraud on the court right here, because he did not do but a bunch of videos previously attacking and harshly criticizing Laura. I don't believe he was actually being I remember being like, oh, dude, get off the fence.
Yes.
Like, Omar,
he was
come
so
on.
reasonable. I was like, I'm going to bill you if we talk any longer, because go figure it out. No, I mean that with all respect. He's a great guy. But he tried his best to come at it, to make sure that stuff like this wouldn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, he really did. He was way more circumspect than me. I mean, he was way more careful about looking at everything, and just he tried very hard. Just saying. Shortly after I sent, so I think number 10 here is a complete lie, and I'm going to find out with the timeline. Shortly after I sent the email to Mr. Serrato on May 24th, I was surprised to see a video that he posted discussing my email to him. Yeah, well, if you send emails to journalists, sometimes they will publish them and talk about them, or to entertainers on YouTube. You send something to a YouTuber, they might use it. Mr. Serrato's video was surprising because it was extremely negative. Okay, it is at this point where I'm like, wait a minute, is he writing a complaining article, or is he putting something into a court? And why does the judge care about his opinion of Serrato? I still can't figure out what the hell this motion is for. And I think at this point, the judge, we're on page 3 now, is going to be like, what the fuck am I reading? I still don't know why I'm reading this. This is not a good idea.
This is supposedly the supporting motivation for his motions that are enumerated at the title page. Right?
But we still haven't been able to read these motions. And
it's not clear if this is just a slow docket, or if there's some procedural things that they have to do with those files, or if those motions are just going to be rejected outright, or we'll see.
All right. Well, I think it's ridiculous. If I'm the judge, I'm like, this is going in the garbage can. It was extremely negative, and it contained statements which I believe to be both false and defamatory. Well, then you should be suing him in civil court, not complaining to this judge. Among other things, Mr. Serrato told his viewers about my email. He told viewers about my email to him without actually showing the contents of the message. Who here thinks that he would also be complaining if he did show the contents of the message?
Well, he did. He actually did in subsequent videos. So he's leaving that out.
Of course he is. Of course he is. Mr. Serrato insulted me. How dare he? How dare you, sir? He should ask him to meet on the field at dawn for this.
Oh, boy.
He insulted me and described my email as extremely unprofessional. Although this may be an expression of Mr. Serrato's opinion when viewed in context. Guys, free speech lawyer here, by the way. Free speech lawyer. Just pointing that out. I believe Mr. Serrato's video overall presented an intentionally false and misleading discussion of both the issues and of my interactions with him.
I just want people to know this is the difference between a David and a Dave. So don't trust a David. You know, there might be some nice Davids, but treat them with caution because let me tell you, Dave Jingras would have never done this. Okay.
Oh boy.
Over the last 20 years,
I think you're right.
I have handled hundreds of cases in state and federal courts across the country, including many high-profile cases involving major celebrities. As part of that practice, I have dealt with significant media attention and inquiries from members of the public, including both journalists and other lawyers like Mr. Serrato.
Has anybody ever in the history of anything ever heard someone go, well, I've represented celebrities. You know, a celebrity thinks this or that, so I'm right. Has anyone ever thought, yeah, that's right. Celebrities agree. So, you know, great.
It's just more LinkedIn spam, I think. Yeah.
And this was the paragraph that got Ian Runkle making some hilarious comments. I can actually pull it up here because there's a clip on thanks to Justice for Clayton or Clayton's Justice. They posted the clip of Ian. I think they did. Yeah, here it is. Here, I'm going to pull this up because this is great. This is the part that it cracked me up so hard because Ian is so right about his criticism of this statement about in my 25 years, blah, blah, blah. Like, David, no one cares about this. Like your 25 years, that's a sign of something. So hold on, let me pull this up.
Yeah, it's like, all right, you're telling on yourself. You've done this for 25 years and you're working pro bono, which basically means you couldn't afford to pay you.
Exactly.
You know,
every single time.
Here we go.
Made more
Every
money
time,
as a Postmates driver.
without fail. Every time a prosecutor has pulled the, do you know how many years of experience I've got? Every single time they pulled that, I proceeded to win. Because when the prosecution has a winning case, when they're sitting there holding all the cards, you know what they don't do? They don't pull that shit. It's an argument. It's a line you pull out when you know you have dog shit, right? It's a tell. It's a poker tell of I am gonna suck at this, right? Like I am about to lose. So when I see in this filing, in my nearly 25 years of practice, I'm like, practice a little more, buddy.
Oh, no.
Listen, in my 2 years of covering Clayton, I agree.
Important cases in both state and federal court, many of which were extremely contentious. I mean, all cases are cool. I have litigated cases before the California Court of Appeal, as well as appearing on behalf of amicus curiae before the California Supreme Court. Ian
is so funny. I wish he was here. But I totally agree with him. And also then he went on to tell this hilarious story about a time when he had a case and a prosecutor gave him that in my 20, he went to him before the court hearing started. And he said, my client's ready to take this deal. Here's the terms that we want. And the prosecutor was like, no way, we're not doing that. And, I'm going to win or whatever. And in my 25 years, he goes, in my 20 years of practicing, I have never seen an argument like that win. And Ian told him, well, I've been practicing less for a year. So less than a year. So when I win, it's going to be really embarrassing for you. That's what he told him. So they go into the court and the judge asked him, are you ready? Or is this case ready? And Ian stands up and he says, yep, ready to go. The prosecutor stands up and he goes, Your Honor, I think that we have there's a deal on the table. And he mentioned the deal that Ian wanted. And Ian said, yep, there sure is. And they took it. So, I mean, again, he's right. It is a tell. Having to say, in my 25 years, I've never, I know these things. Like, no, you don't. And your amount of time spent in this profession doesn't actually equal a knowledge, and it doesn't actually equal expertise. You can be in law for 25 years and still be a douchebag. Which,
look, we don't know. I can't speak for you guys. I don't know a thing about law, and we crushed this guy.
We crushed him.
Correct.
Yep.
This guy. And it just goes to show, when you have the truth on your side, when you're authentic, when you have a grassroots community who cares, you win, period. It takes a lot of time. You might lose a battle here and there, but when you have the facts on your side, they surface.
Yep. And that's exactly what happened here. And I don't remember whose turn it was. Bruce, why don't you do 12?
Yeah, are we on
or
12?
13? Sorry,
13,
we were on 13.
That's right. Based on my experience, I know some journalists and commentators act in good faith, trying to present fair and neutral stories for their readers. I feel like he doesn't understand that sometimes commentary involves actual opinions.
Yeah.
And
it's like he's never watched YouTube before.
It's like he thinks everybody has to sort of reserve judgment when reporting, which doesn't have to be. It can be the case, but doesn't have to be.
Yeah, certainly not. Unhung Hero, thanks for the 2, says, forget douche canoe. He's a douche cruise ship. Cynic in Chief, thanks for the 5. Looks like Jingras isn't the only one who won't go to court. Lynette failed to go to her deposition today, claiming her husband had a medical issue. I know. Tonight's show is going to be really funny, you guys. Wender Bender, thanks for the 5. Hi, Megan. I miss seeing you with these 2 handsome gents. Well, I've missed being with them. The Undertaker, thanks for the 2. LMNOP skipped today. I know. She didn't show up for her deposition. And it's going to be a wild night tonight on YouTube. So make sure you guys are tuned in. Is it my night or Tug's? It's mine. So be here at 8 p.m. because we'll talk about it.
You guys sound like divorced parents. It's my night. Who's got the YouTube tonight? Do you have it?
That's right.
Who's got custody of the chat tonight? It's my night.
I'm jealous of the way you guys cross. I don't. You don't get paid if it's not your thing. You know what I mean?
Right. Which is why we go back and forth, because we have our own channels, right? We don't have a channel together, so it's hard to. If we were to simul stream, that's kind of weird too, because it just cuts the. There's
a better software that YouTube can come up with that they need to figure that out for people that do collaborate.
That's true. I mean, we've come up with a pretty good formula though, because I think overall, our idea of just switching back and forth has grown both of our channels and grown both of our income. So it's working.
Mm-hmm.
It's working.
In the music world, you can do splits, and maybe YouTube needs something like that, a concept where you can.
Oh yeah, like the ad splits. Yeah, mm-hmm. yeah. But I don't think Tug and I considered that we would be doing a show together long term, and then we did.
I mean, you took him to family.
Did I
court
stream last night? I did
Yeah.
stream last night. It's Tug's night. Sorry, I got it wrong.
I mean,
It's
you
Tug's
got
night
Tug
tonight.
to sign the family plan or the parenting plan in family court, right? Laura
Yeah.
couldn't do that with Clayton, so.
Yeah, I did. I don't think we ever intended it to be a long-term thing, and we're going on 2 years now. So it's hilarious. We're
Joint custody.
co-parenting YouTube. It's hilarious. It's good though. We're having a lot of fun. Let's see. I also know that some journalists and commentators do not act in good faith. Instead, these people generally are not interested in the truth. They are only interested in crafting a self-serving narrative, and they believe it will be the most attractive to whatever audience they are focused on.
Based on my interactions with Mr. Serrato in my review of several of his videos, I quickly concluded he was not acting in good faith and that there was no reason to continue engaging with him regarding Laura's case. Instead, my impression was that Mr. Serrato was not a serious individual and that he had no regard for truth or honesty. For that reason, I generally declined any further interactions with him.
Is being a serious individual something that people are concerned with?
I mean, it's like if you're not, it's the same old stuff. If you don't share their exact same opinion, he can't find one person on his side. They've had 2 years. That somebody that isn't a retired doctor in Florida that they're paying to take their side. It's not a fair fight anymore.
Yeah. I mean, if there was somebody who thought that Laura had legitimate claims in court, we would like to talk to them. We would want to interview them and understand them. Like, it would be interesting, right? But I can't even find them. They don't exist.
Rachel Juarez is in the chat. I love you, but you are not serious people.
That's fair.
Oh God. Regarding Laura's request to renew the DVRO in this case, I obviously understood I was a witness to many of the events on which her renewal request is based. For that reason, I submitted a supporting declaration at the time Laura filed her request to renew the order, but I did not appear as her counsel of record.
Because I am licensed to practice law in both California and Arizona, I know each state has different rules limiting a lawyer's ability to represent a client in a matter where the lawyer may be a necessary witness.
In fact, Arizona's ethical rule on the issue, Ethical Rule 3.7, expressly forbids lawyers from acting in a dual witness advocate role, period, all caps, without exception. Whereas California's version of Rule 3.7 is more lenient. California expressly permits lawyers to occupy that dual role as long as the client gives informed consent. For that reason, in prior cases, when I have acted as counsel for a party, I've always moved to withdraw from any case where it appeared I may be a necessary witness. Here is just one such example from a case called Eccentric
Which
Ventures,
no one is going to read.
LLC.
We're not reading your shit, David.
Eccentric
Sorry.
with an X. Is that like X-rated? Or
Oh
I don't
God.
know. Who
You know
knows?
what? You should look it up just to find out, because it's probably going to be something like thedirty.com.
The other- The other
in
thing
the-
that's interesting,
yeah.
though, about that is he says, well, you can, if you get your client consent, you can do this dual role. But in Omar's filings, he argues about why that alone is insufficient. And Gingras does not refute any of those arguments in this document. So I thought that was interesting.
In that case, I was initially counsel of record for the plaintiff. However, it eventually became necessary for me to testify as a witness at trial. Nothing says great lawyering like a lawyer who has to become a witness. For that reason, I have moved to withdraw from the case. The court granted that. Oh my God, just imagine this guy became a witness at his client's criminal trial that stemmed from the civil case he was the lawyer in, and he becomes a witness. David,
that
put
sound
this on your
familiar?
resume. Put this on your resume. This is great. Great for you. I love this for you. For that reason, I moved to withdraw from the case. The court granted that request and held my actions were entirely proper under the ethical rules. Did they, though? Maybe this thing, maybe withdrawing, but the jury is still out on how ethical you were with your 11 bar complaints, okay? I'm not reading that.
Ventures is the ripoff report where David Jingras was the lawyer for.
Oh, okay, the ripoff report. I've been there before.
Is it me on 20?
Yep.
I am aware California's version of professional conduct is far less restrictive than the Arizona equivalent. Specifically, in California, a lawyer may ethically represent a client in a matter where the lawyer is also a necessary witness. The only requirement is the client must give informed written consent. This is so fucking boring. Why is he telling this to the judge? Get to the juice.
I don't know. I don't know why he's telling any of this to this judge.
It's
Again, we're on
wild.
page 5, and we
Yeah.
still haven't come to the point where we know why he's writing this. Rachel says, hire me, and I'll turn your civil case into a criminal one.
I mean, seems to have happened multiple times now. That's where we're going. In this case, Miss Owens told me she was willing to provide informed written consent. Well, she was willing, but she didn't, to allow me to represent her while also acting as her counsel. However, under the circumstances, I felt the best option was to allow Miss Owens to file the renewal request on her own, with my support limited to the role of witness.
Let me just paraphrase. I'd rather stop working for free.
The situation changed after Mr. Maricini retained Mr. Serrato as his counsel. I feel like there should be
Dun, dun,
this. Prior to this, Miss Owens did not know whether Mr. Maricini intended to challenge the DVRO renewal, and thus she did not know whether she was comfortable proceeding pro se or whether she felt she needed the help from counsel.
After Laura learned that Mr. Maricini had retained Mr. Serrato, she asked me to represent her on a limited basis for the purpose of appearing as a Zoom hearing held on this case on August 15th. Because that hearing was non-substantive and did not involve any witness testimony, I agreed to appear remotely on Laura's behalf at that time.
Several days. Sorry, it's your turn.
Yeah, several
not
days
Bruce.
later, on August 18th, I had a lengthy phone conversation with Mr. Serrato. Oh boy, do you want to take a phone call? According to my phone records, the call lasted 66 minutes. And I'm willing to bet
Oh, God.
that he talked
66
for about
minutes.
60 of those 66
Oh,
minutes.
for sure. For sure. I mean, just for reference, go back to the debate with Rachel and
Yeah.
Reality Steve and see how many minutes David Jingras talks during that thing. It is insane.
Blowhard.
Also present on the call was a lawyer named Rachel Juarez.
Oh, there
Rachel
she is.
Juarez has entered the filing, who had not appeared in this matter, but who I understand is also representing Mr. Maricini in some unknown capacity.
Can I just be the
Oh,
first to
stay
say,
tuned.
you know, having met Rachel Juarez in person, lovely. I can, whenever I say her name, I can only think of her in her judge robe. She
I can only
exists
think
in
of her.
judge-
I can only think of her at the craps table winning tons of money.
Oh my
The
God.
Rachel is a winner. Let me tell you something. And I can only think of her like me and her at the slot machines all night, trying to figure out how to cash in her California tax refund.
Oh
She
my
refused to come to the pool. She was all business, no sunblock
she's
for Rachel
serious.
Juarez.
She's serious about the gambling and she's good at it. I found out that she took some time off of college to play professional poker. Do not play poker with Rachel Juarez.
Listen, if she loves gambling, she should have come to the Vegas hot tub with us and gambled on whether or not she was going to get herpes from the jet.
What?
That's the best gamble of all.
Rachel, we love you. We wish you were
Yeah.
here.
I mean,
And I
judges'
wish-
robes, that's got to be the best sunblock around, right? I mean,
Yeah,
I
it's
personally-
UFS. What's it
UV,
called? The UV.
UV resistant.
My retirement plan is to pitch a show to a network starring me and Rachel Juarez traveling around, going to different casinos. Because I'm telling you, just filming us playing slot machines is the most entertaining shit you've ever seen in your life. Rachel, we need to make this happen. We need to
Yeah.
make this happen.
It could be Megan and Rachel do eccentric ventures together.
It's a good time. I'm telling you. She texted me from Vegas the other day. She was there on a layover or something. And she was like, I just won $1,300. Like, what? At a slot machine. She was like, I'm not having any luck at the pigs. I'm like, go to the Buffaloes. She texted me 2 minutes later. She's winning. Like she won the jackpot on the Buffaloes.
All
She's
right.
a badass.
Dinner on
Telling you.
Rachel.
Yeah. All right, let's see.
25.
25. During this discussion, Mr. Serrato and Miss Juarez told me they believed I should not continue to represent Miss Owens for various reasons. I think it's funny that he has failed to put the reasons in the paragraph.
Yeah.
Among other things, they argued I had a present conflict of interest with Miss Owens because last year Mr. Maricini filed a complaint against me with the State Bar of Arizona, which related to the same events at issue in the case. Well, that seems like a reason, sir. Mr. Serrato expressed his belief that because Mr. Maricini accused me of misconduct in Arizona, that somehow it created conflict with Miss Owens in this case, which made it impossible for me to represent her. Sir, you were accused of witness tampering, and the witness in question was Mike Maricini. And you think that you can come into court and represent her against him? It's not even been worked out yet. So no, come on.
Megan, it's just minor misconduct. I mean, come on.
Oh my gosh. Ian Runkle has entered the program. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Excellent. I'm so glad to see you. I had questions, Ian, about the waiver. I have questions about the waiver. Tell me about this waiver that you think that you're saying he needs to have had. I didn't even know this was a thing.
Well, he's talking a lot about like what he and his client did, how much his client paid him, this kind of thing. And as a lawyer, you can't talk about your client's business without their authorization. So if a client comes in to talk to me and says, hey, I need to discuss, I want to hire you for this file. And I say, all right, tell me, how much can you pay me? And they say nothing. And I decide to take on the file pro bono. I can't actually say that detail without their permission. They're okay on it because that's personal business. That's stuff we discussed. If the client tells me they have a dog, I can't mention that unless I've got a waiver. And there may be waivers for the purpose of representation, but here he's not actually representing her. If somebody tells me, for instance, they've got cancer, it might be that I can present that as an argument as mitigation on sentencing. But I can't just go talking about their business because I feel like it. And here he's representing his interests. If he wants to be saying that he's acting as counsel, that's a different thing. But did she sign off on any of this? Did she say that that's... Now, I don't know. Maybe she did. Maybe she did. Maybe he's got a signed document saying, I waive privilege. He can talk about all of this. But otherwise, he dropped a lot of details.
Would that waiver have to be on the court docket, or could it just be?
No, that would just be in his file. He wouldn't file that.
Well, I have to say, in all my years of covering YouTube, that was a pretty good analysis.
Well, thank you.
I loved we just played your clip earlier, and I loved hearing what you had to say. And but I do have to bounce, so I have to go to Tropical.
Oh shoot! And Ian just got here. Well, here's the thing.
We'll have to run into each other at some point.
Yeah. No, it's not personal. I would love to, if we could have replaced Bruce with Ian early on. I love all of you guys. I got to go to Tropical Smoothie Cafe and get a protein smoothie. They're my sponsor, so I got to.
All right. I know you told me you only had an hour. Thank you for being here, Dave. I appreciate you.
Bye, everyone.
All right, see ya. Ian, I'll hook you guys up through email so you can get in touch. And because I think you'd have a lot to talk about with Dave. He's been through so much with his case, and he's a hilarious interview. And I think your audience would really enjoy him. And especially with the amount of info he's got in this case. So I watched your coverage, Ian, of reading this document. And when you got to the part where Gingras is talking about his interaction with Omar Serrato, I was screaming at the screen. I'm like, oh my God, Ian, you have no idea what really happened here, because as you're taking it as like, you're just reading it. And of course your take is right on everything, But what you don't know is that he is flat out lying to the court. He's flat out.
That doesn't surprise me, but
he's lying. I'm going back. I got to go back and show you the lies, because the lies are unbelievable. Where was the
thing is, if he's lying, why doesn't he make himself look better?
That is a good question. That is a very good question. I mean, so he's talking about Omar. He said that he found out. Here it is. So, okay. He said he learned that here's the first lie. That Omar, yes, I did not previously know him. I first became aware of him on May 23rd when Laura forwarded an email Mr. Serrato sent asking questions about the case. Bullshit. Laura Owens emailed Omar. Laura did. Laura reached out to him first. Correct, Bruce? I'm right?
I
I
think
thought
that's
that was
correct.
in there. I
It's-
thought that's also in the
It's
file.
possible.
I
that-
haven't seen it.
It's possible that Laura emailed Omar without Jingras knowing about it.
That's
but,
also
I mean,
possible.
But
I don't know
Omar's
about that.
response to her what he's talking about. It's Omar's response to
Yeah.
Laura. And I think that's an important point, because Omar did not start this. He did not reach out to them. They reached out to him.
Yeah.
And he's making it sound like, and then here's the next lie.
I would want to go check it, because it may be that Jingras is like CC'd on that email originally. Or
Yeah,
something,
he might
because
be.
I don't know how else Omar would have found Jingras to send him questions.
We didn't
about
know
the case.
Omar. We did not know him.
Yeah.
I met him after Laura contacted him. We did not know him in the law tube sphere. We didn't know him at all. And by the way, he's hilarious, Ian. You would like him. He's very funny. But I'd never heard of him. There's no way that he was not watching us. We weren't watching him. He got his information from her.
And the thing is that it would be possible to figure out, like, if I get emailed by some random person saying they have a court, whatever, especially in the US, where you can look up things a lot more easily than you can in Canada, but you can look up and see, like, is there counsel on that file? And then go and reach out to them. It would be a prudent step. I could absolutely see a lawyer figuring that out before they went too much further. Because absolutely, it's a prudent step to be like, does this person have a lawyer? What's going on? Should I be talking to their lawyer instead of them?
Right. Okay. So he says, Laura forwarded an email Mr. Serrato sent asking questions about the case. Fine. That's probably true, but it was because it was a response to her reaching out to him. After reading them, he sent an email. Okay. I later learned that in addition, he has a YouTube channel. And I was not aware that apparently Mr. Serrato had published a series of videos harshly attacking and criticizing Laura. I do not believe that this is true. I think this is a complete lie. Hey, you know what we can actually do?
True. Sorry, somebody sends you an email out of the blue asking a bunch of questions. The first thing you do is you put their name into Google and you have a look. Right?
But we saw his first stream about her, and he was so down the middle of the road, like on her side, starting out like, okay, I'm gonna take all of these things, what she's saying, and we're gonna see what we can find. And he was really fair, really fair. And there were no attacking videos. Like yes, Omar has confirmed Laura reached out to him first.
It's not the problem is it's not a disciplined reflection of the timeline. So it may be true that those two sentences, right? Like, he sent me an email. I later learned he had made these videos. Those two sentences could be true, but it's not. Him putting them together in the same bullet makes it sound like they're happening at the same time. But those videos where Omar is criticizing Laura or criticizing Gingras happened much later, not at the time that these Q&A emails were going on.
Oh yeah, much later. He's making it sound like he found these videos after, like, in this first exchange. That did not happen. It did not happen. His very first, I'm trying to look for his very first live stream on it.
I think it's less him trying to deceive us on purpose and more just being bad at putting together a good timeline.
He might also just be in his own head and not realize that, like, the videos at the time might have been more favorable than the videos later.
Yeah.
And so he might be like, he posts all this nasty stuff and doesn't really realize that there was a progression of thinking. I mean, to be as fair to as him as possible.
March of 2024 is when he claims the email was, and that would be more than a year ago. Geez, I'm trying to look for. Here it is. Okay,
it's May of 24.
Oh, did he say May? I thought it said March. Okay. I mean, honestly, I remember his first live stream that he ever did about the Owens thing, and there was nothing. So you're right. Maybe that's what it was. But to me, because Gingras is constantly misleading the court, like in misleading people, I always feel like it is purposeful. So I found his very first stream. It was a year ago. Let's see what the date on it was, because that will tell us how far after that email was sent. Looks like May 24th was the day that his very first live stream was. And what date did they? May 23rd. So after, wait a minute. So he does it the next day.
Mm-hmm.
There were no, and I'm looking at his YouTube right now, there were no Laura Owens videos before May 24th.
Right.
None. Zero. And you guys, you should really see that May 24th live stream if you haven't seen it, because he was the most fair guy on earth.
The thing is,
Sure.
this is also really kind of, when I said if he was going to lie, he should lie in a way that makes him look better. Let's say I get a media contact reaching out about a client of mine. Well, the first thing I do is I drop their name into Google and say, who is this person? What are they like? What is their likely angle on this? And, I might also say, hey, it's good to hear from you. Can you tell me what, which production are you with? Where do you intend to discuss this? And media people tend to be pretty open about that, right? And that's including YouTube, right? If somebody reaches out and says, hey, I've got questions about this for my YouTube channel, and I've had people do that, the first question I have is, what's your channel? And I have yet to have anybody say, well, I don't want to tell you that. And so you just look them up. And the thing is, if you're sitting there representing a client and you look up somebody's YouTube channel and it's all like, your client is the worst person ever, you'd send back something like, thank you for your contact.
Right.
Due to confidentiality rules, I can't, there's nothing I can say. Best of luck with your production. And I look forward to seeing it. Something like that. Because you are just, you don't want to pick a fight, but you also don't want to give them anything. And so at the end of the day, they probably just go away and everything's fine, right? So, and they probably still publish something that is awful about your client because that's what they were going to do anyway. But you're like, all right, moving on.
Mm-hmm. But not this guy. He got obsessed. So this is Omar. And this is his first stream. And I just want to look at the description and read a little bit of this, because this is what he said in the description of that first stream. This case is going to be wild. I can tell all of you that I've been contacted by individuals on both sides, including Jane Doe herself. At the time, no one was using her name except me, because she was threatening to sue everyone who would use her name. So they called her Jane Doe. I've promised to be completely fair and objective to both sides. I am currently going through all of the publicly available evidence out there, including evidence that has been sent to me, and formulating Friday's show. At present, I have no opinion on this case as to who's telling the truth. I can tell you that Jane Doe, assuming it's really Jane Doe who emailed me and not her attorney or some other person, believes that all of this is a malicious smear campaign against her, as she states in an email to myself, and he quotes, "For the last 9 months, NEAL has been obsessively fixated on my personal life, creating a relentless smear campaign against me." If that's true, I'm very sensitive to this narrative, as I have represented women who have been the subject of such campaigns. I have also represented men who have been the victims of what's being alleged here. So I am going to be sticking to the objective facts and presenting an objective narrative whereby all of you can form your own opinions. The person she's referring to is David NEAL, who has been publishing content regarding this case for some time. Owen states, NEAL's followers have become disturbingly cult-like, echoing his every word and action. I can assure you that I know nothing of NEAL's followers, or David NEAL for that matter, and the information presented on my show will be from my own objective search of what's out there and my opinions regarding the weight of it all. I respect both positions and I will simply be calling balls and strikes. What a monster!
The thing is that this is one of those cases where you look at it and the sort of allegations against Ms. Owens are so surreal and so out there and so sort of hard to believe that at the end of the day you'd be you're like, why would anybody make this up? Because it would just be such a bizarre thing to make up. And so you tend to think, well, there must be something to this, right? There must be something here.
Right.
And the problem is that as you go through it, it's like, it just gets crazier and crazier, and it's sillier and sillier. And
I mean, if you want to see that happen in real time, this live stream with Omar is 4 hours, but oh my God, is it funny? It's so good. He goes from like, we got to believe her. We got to believe that maybe this happened, and to just like, wow, mind blown. It's so good.
Yeah, he goes from knowing nothing to reading through the emails and everything. And he's just like, wait, why am I, what is this? What am I reading?
I mean, I am behind on covering this thing, but it is just wild. And it's actually kind of funny because ages ago when I started doing some coverage on this, I was sitting there going, man, the only thing this lawyer is doing for her is possibly getting her, I could see her getting criminal issues and him getting bar complaints.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, it's bizarre to me that the lawyer seems to be making this worse and that I could see this possible future. And now I'm sitting here going, so she's got criminal issues, and he's got bar complaints. And the bar complaints actually, to me, look pretty. Now, we've got different cultures for lawyers. Here where I am, if I had filed something saying, look, daddy, I'm a real judge
Look
now,
at me, daddy.
I can say I would have had a call from the Law Society probably by end of day going, we have, there's been a complaint filed against you, and like, yeah. I probably would have been told, get off that file. You have a conflict now. Like, it would have been a big deal right at the outset. And it wouldn't be a question of whether I get punished for something like that. It would be a question of just like how hard. And so, but in the US, lawyers seem to get away with a lot more than they do here. So, yeah,
okay, so do you know about the tight email, Ian?
I do not.
Oh my God, you don't know? He doesn't know. Oh my God, you guys, somebody bookmark this. You're going to want to timestamp it because I'm going to let Ian find out about the tight email by us watching Omar find out about the tight email. Is everyone ready for this? Because this is going to blow your mind, Ian. It's going to blow your mind.
I come home tomorrow afternoon, so if you want us to consider an abortion, this really is your last chance because of
He's reading an email from Laura to Clayton.
Timing in the face that neither of us would want to end the pregnancy once there is a heartbeat. I would like to get together tomorrow night to talk and explore intimacy. It's time for you to make an effort if that is something we are considering. Obviously, I would love to have sex in the future and feel like I am the safest person you could have sex with. And since I'm pregnant, but if you really think that like you said yesterday, my goal was to date and get pregnant during this time, we can absolutely hold off on it. However, it occurred to me that you might believe me more about paternity if you were inside of me and felt how tight I would be after not having sex in more than a year. WTF is she on about? Maybe then you believe that I hadn't been sleeping around and then you wouldn't be doing me any big favor. Having sex with me is a privilege and not something I have. If any woman said that to me, I'd be like, get the fuck out. Shit.
Shit.
No, but she said that she didn't have sex in over a year.
This is just kind of out of left field, and so I don't know the context of
But
this email. To be fair,
Then how did she get pregnant?
I mean, she claims she has-
Asking the important
she
questions.
has stated on the record and under oath that she had intercourse with him. But she also stated in an email to me that she didn't want to. Well, she didn't say that. Her attorney said she didn't want to because of the timing.
I mean, there are thousands of emails, Ian, that I'm sure you have never seen, including, did you ever see the dating contract?
No, although I've seen references to the dating
my
contract. I haven't looked at the
God.
contract.
What? Well, that's got to be in here too. That's got to be in here too. She wrote an actual dating contract. I mean, and watching him find out about all of these things was gold. Like, imagine, I don't know. I guess I have to ask you, as a journalist, Ian, as you're here, what is your reaction to the if you were inside of me, you would know how tight I was email?
It is not going to make the top 10 craziest things I've seen put to writing, but
really?
Oh God, you have to understand, I do criminal law, so the stuff you see is it's sometimes pretty out there. But I will say, it is not one of those things that says, oh yeah, this is a stable person. And it's definitely one of those things that it's like, oh yeah, this gets added to the cross-examination file because, she says nothing in a year. Okay, that would include him. So therefore, all of these other
and then we
become
found out,
but also just like, this is some crazy stalkery shit. And for the people out there who don't realize it, guys get stalkers too sometimes, and they tend to send stuff like that, and it's uncomfortable. So
yes, it's very uncomfortable. That's a good word. We also found out, though, through the indictment that statement that she made about not being with anyone for a year seems to be untrue, because in the indictment it looks like they have evidence that she was sexually active with someone else between the time where there could have been someone else may have been the father or whatever of the alleged twins anyway. So that's interesting because that's in the indictment. So, it keeps uncovering just lie after lie after lie. God, when I think about, because you've covered this on like a real like bird's eye view, right, of just certain documents in the court.
Looked at the legal documents that were filed.
Yeah. And it's funny because there's just so much that you've missed. I can't even begin to think of all the things that I would want to show you. Particularly, did you ever see the court footage of her rubbing the moon belly?
Yeah, that was weird. I can't say I watched all of the trial. I watched some of the trial because I was in the middle of some insane stuff at the time the trial went down. So I couldn't cover the trial. And then I watched bits of it afterwards and went, what? What is going on here? I also watched some of the the baseball signals that you've got from
Mm-hmm.
and I was I was just thinking, if I was
and
doing
we
that
didn't
when my
even catch
client was
all
on
of
the
them.
stand, the judge would have just said, okay, if it was a jury trial, it would have been, jurors, can you please step out? And if it would have been like a judge alone trial, it would have been like, all right, we're just going to take a pause. If the witness could leave the room, and the discussion would have been something along the lines of, Mr. Runkle, there's going to be a mistrial and you're going to pay for it. Like, you are going to pay for the entire cost of the trial up until this point.
Well, that's why the judge filed the bar complaint against him. That was one of her major complaints with him, was the signaling at his client, which we didn't even catch all of it on camera. My sister and I saw it. My sister saw it first. She elbowed me. I looked at him, and he was doing this. And that
Oh,
we didn't
that's-
catch on. We didn't catch that on camera, and it was almost like
That's
he was
so much
telling her
worse
to,
than what we did catch.
yeah, he went like this, like a full arms out, like yeah. I don't know if it was a no. I don't know if he was saying no or if he was going drag it out. Like,
Well,
but it
that's
was one
steal
or the other.
third base, Megan. That's what that is.
I thought that was this, but the judge definitely saw it, and then we caught some of it on the camera. We caught him doing this, like stop. It was incredible. It was just an incredible moment. I mean, being there was just amazing. Ian, have you seen victimsoflauraowens.com?
Oh yes, it's a great resource. It's got all
Isn't it
sorts
amazing?
of,
It's got everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got everything. Yeah, amazing. It's there is so much. There's so much in this case that it, like, you can't, and then it's not even just one case, because you've got Greg Gillespie. Have you seen anything in the Gillespie case, or the you've seen some of the Maricini stuff, but have you looked at the Greg Gillespie case at all?
I haven't. That one I haven't looked at.
Yeah, poor Greg. He really got raked over the coals too. She took him to court for alleged abortion coercion, which isn't a thing. It's only a thing between a medical provider and a patient, but there's no like law against, spouses arguing about whether or not to have an abortion.
Yeah, that would be like the court really the legislature really intervening a little too far into the intimate details of relationships right there.
Right, which is why there is no such thing. And yet the court allowed her to drag him through court for so long. It cost him over $100,000 to get out of that.
That's kind of the problem with a lot of these things, is that you get a frivolous lawsuit and it costs a ton of money. So, yeah.
All right, so the chat really wants me to show you the Fiverr. Did you see the Fiverr video?
You're going to have to show me the Fiverr video.
Okay.
I'm not sure
right.
which one you're referring to. I've seen some
Well,
videos, but I don't
the
know if I've-
sonogram that she, in the Greg Gillespie case, that she gave to him had a Fiverr logo on it. Have you seen that?
I've seen references to it. I didn't actually see the video.
All right, I'll pull it out. I have
references
it.
to the whole, like, there being a Fiverr.
I have it. I can pull it out here somewhere.
The thing with the emails that really got me was over on Schnitzel Ninja's channel. She reads through all these emails from Laura to Clayton in one go. And when you hear them all at once, it has a really strong effect. And so that was interesting to me.
Yes. So I never saw this. What are we seeing here? What's this? HEVN? Is this are you seeing this? I'm literally.
Yeah, that looks like a watermark.
What the hell's going on here?
What is
How
that? Go. Wait
You know
a minute.
what?
Go back in.
I never noticed it, and now I can't see it. I can't unsee it. What the hell is that?
We had looked at this so many times.
NVEN.
Watermark.
What weird.
Yeah, that's Fiverr.
Yep.
Possibly alter this. Okay, hold on a second. I don't know, but could she have possibly altered this in one of those apps that she was using the free version of the?
No, it wasn't an app.
Or one of the fetuses was writing with the finger in the.
Oh yeah.
Possible that she had a genius fetus that was just in there, like you do on a window,
Yeah, he had a. I think it's called a tele.
It was the chat that figured out it was Fiverr. And then look right here.
Either way, I mean, maybe it is. Sometimes I'll give her the credit here. Sometimes on an ultrasound they'll draw things and say like, this is baby A, baby B. But either way, the point is
Danielle
that
it says Fiverr.
Oh no!
Yes.
Hold on. Hold on. This is why you do it live. This is what. Hold on. So let's go back here. Hold on.
And then he goes and he gets it.
This is the.
And it's incredible. It's a perfect match.
Versus the one they're using. You know
There
what I mean?
it
Like,
is.
like who knows? But literally. Holy. Are you kidding me? What, Meg? Are you my lucky charm, Meg?
I can't believe this just happened. I swear to you, Chad, we did not see this. We did not see this until
I'll tell you
Wow.
what.
saw it with you.
I just want I want the world to know I'm wearing.
Was this
I'm
filed
wearing
in court?
I don't. Well, maybe in the Greg Gillespie case. Chat. Does anybody know if this one? So this was the Greg Gillespie sonogram. It's possible, but because that one got, I mean, his case got so screwed up.
I don't
know
think
the answer to
so,
that
but
question.
It could have been, but I don't think it was.
Oh, because that's the thing where you're just like,
Mhm.
oh man,
Yeah.
that's where you're just super happy is if they file that in court.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
that's more.
But she did
evidence
file
in
the
front.
Smile one in court, and that one was fabricated. That one she admitted to fabricating, and then is surprised that she's facing jail. Like it's amazing to me. It's amazing. But you know, I'm gonna go back to the let me see if let me check the questions. Let me make sure anybody has questions here that I don't miss them, because I don't want to. I know the chat's all excited that you're here, Ian. So if they have questions for you, I want to make make sure that they get
I'm
them
behind the
answered.
8 ball on this one, but it's such a wild case. It's so bizarre.
Yeah, her story today is that she never had this ultrasound in the Greg Gillespie case, but he has voicemail recordings or phone conversation recordings.
Oh,
where
yeah.
they're literally talking about this picture. So
Have you heard those?
Oh God.
I like how this has turned into me just going, "Hey, did you see this? Did you see that?"
I think I covered her indictment. I hope I did, but yeah, it's.
I think you did. I think you
indictments.
did.
Yeah. 7
my
charges.
God.
It's and the thing is that they're really reluctant to proceed with like perjury and shit like that, right? And any sort of, because the issue is that there's the mens rea component. You have to prove not only that a false statement was made, but that it was made on purpose, because people say false things in court all the time without intending to. Like a genuinely honest witness can get up and be like, and the car was red, and it wasn't. It was a black car. They're misremembering, right? This happens all the time. And you might think, oh, well, that's such an obvious lie. They're not trying to lie. It's just one of those things. And so, but it can be about significant details, like who threw the first punch, who had the knife. Like if you do studies of just random people and you show them a fight, they can put the knife into the wrong person's hand in their memory without intending to. And that could be, huge at a trial, right? So it's very difficult to prove anything like that. And the fact that they're proceeding with it is it's pretty exceptional, because normally they'd just be like, whatever. Here they're like, we think we can prove that not only was this false, but that it was intentionally false.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And we spent so much time proving that this stuff was intentionally false, and it was easy to prove. It just took time, but everything, bubbled up to the surface. It all bubbles up to the surface. And it's like, you can't hide this big of a lie for that long. Like, you just can't.
Yeah.
I don't have the Greg files at the tip of my fingers, unfortunately, but I do have. I think I do have the one of the dating contracts. I think was on. Do you know about Schnitzel Ninja's YouTube channel? You've probably seen it, because that's. Oh God, she's got all the 911 calls, everything from the FOIAs, and plus all the court, all the court recordings.
Okay.
But you definitely want to see that. You want to check that out, because there's so many. There was at one time, Laura loves to say that she's had to call the FBI and all of this stuff, claiming that people, and truly her interaction with the FBI got the FBI to call a wellness check-in on her to her home we have that
FBI
recorded.
called a wellness check, so it's
Yes.
not like some crazy lawyer calls in a wellness check because they're upset about the stuff you're saying about their client. It's the FBI.
No, it's the FBI, and in fact, this is a great little video, because if you haven't seen it, this is great. This one is good, and this one's easy to find.
Pass on information and to Scottsdale, please. Hi, my name is Hannah Clark. I'm calling from the FBI's National Threat Operations Center in West Virginia, and I'm calling to give you guys some pass on information and to request a welfare check on an individual in your AOR.
For what address?
So it's going to be
And who are we checking on here?
the name provided on the tip is Laura Owens.
Every time they bleep something out, I imagine they're swearing in it.
Yep. The date of birth or anything on her? And in case I lose you, what's the phone number for you?
Our ops center phone number is going to be.
No, I can't stop but hearing it either. I'm hearing George Carlin.
So she put in an electronic tip. So she did one through the FBI website, and it's a very long tip. She just talks about how she's being harassed and defamed online by other individuals. But there is one sentence that she puts in here where she states, I have written to Mr. NEAL on at least 2 occasions, telling him that his false portrayal of me publicly has left me at times feeling borderline suicidal. So it's for the vague suicidal comments.
Okay. Do you know what Laura looks like?
I do not. It seems like she has a history of making reports to the Scottsdale Police Department.
So, like, you should know who she is.
Any mention of any weapons or anything that she could have, or are you aware of anything? No. Okay. When did you guys receive this tip?
So we received this tip. Give me a second. I'll tell you the exact time and date. So it was today, 12/4 at 10:50 a.m.
Okay.
So
you guys are like 3 hours ahead or 2? Sorry. It's 20
yeah.
here.
Yeah, we're on the East Coast. Yeah, I'm in West Virginia.
Okay.
So it looks like, based on like research that I've done through Index, it looks like on 11/7, it says Scottsdale PD did a welfare check on her previously for suicidal comments as well.
Okay.
This is not your first.
Sorry, I'll put somebody out there. Do you want the officer to give you a call back?
If he feels the need, he can call back the ops center number. All he'll have to do is give her name, and they should be able to pull up the transaction, and they could add a note into it. Can I have your ID or your?
It's B like boy 850.
Yeah, and Schnitzel also has all the body cam footage from the wellness or the well checks, and it is the one that the FBI called in, and they try to blame it on Dave Neal's followers or whatever, but the cops are like, no, the FBI sent us here.
Okay.
We're here.
She's had some real issues with an ex-boyfriend who it is the most complicated, bizarre story ever. But,
The only reason we're here is
You're not wrong.
Gave the FBI, talked to them. They just wanted us to swing by.
That's Jan Black, her famous mother, who is the journalist in San Francisco. I don't know if you've dove too hard into her family, but her father is a famous radio talk show host, and her mother was a well-known journalist in San Francisco. Yeah, Ron Owens was the highest paid radio talk show host in San Francisco. He is alleged to have been worth up to $20 million at some point, but he had a severe gambling problem. So, they're now filing bankruptcy. It's kind of a really sad story because he has like Parkinson's, and this is what he has to look forward to in his last years, is dealing with his daughter, who's completely out of control.
And gambling addiction is a hell of a thing. So
Yeah. Yeah.
The interesting thing about the other wellness check was that the police they came to the house, but they never put eyes on Laura. They only talked to the mom, which I thought was strange.
For the first one, you mean?
Yeah.
This one, she comes out in this one. I think this is Greasy Bun. Yeah.
Is that
Greasy
usual, or?
Top Knot.
I mean, that seemed odd to me that they would do a wellness check, but not actually look at the person, the subject.
Yeah, that was a stupid move. They should have. They should have.
An online complaint.
Yeah.
They said something you said was borderline suicidal.
Right. That was from the guy, but that was also from.
So the FBI called us to come check on you to make sure you're okay and you're.
Yeah. No, that was like.
So were you talking about whatever you said? Were you talking about yourself or someone?
Yeah, but it was like from a couple months ago, and she was saying she's been targeted. Like she's had a horrible situation with
No, she was trying to get the attention of the FBI to go and arrest Dave Neal, is what she was doing. So she was saying all kinds of shit that wasn't true because she wanted the FBI to investigate Dave Neal. Like, so now they come, look, so are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm just a liar. Yes, thank you, chat. Thank you, chat.
I mean, the thing is that people would say I'm fine even if they're not, right? That's very, yeah.
12/23, December of 2023. Was she still claiming to be pregnant at this point, Bruce?
That's a good question. When did we get the no longer pregnant court filing? That was
12/28, 29. It was like 12/29.
It was very close. It was very close to this time. Now, of course, she later claimed that she, got that non-pregnancy determination much earlier. But
yeah,
there was a big lag. There was a big lag between the time she claimed she knew she wasn't pregnant anymore and when they actually filed with the court, and we got to see this announcement that she said she was no longer pregnant. Yeah, end of December.
This case is wild. It is wild. It is bizarre. And Ian, if you ever have some time, spend some time on Schnitzel Ninjas.
Yeah,
I'll have to check it out. I mean,
it's
such a
amazing.
weird case, and every time something gets filed, it's like bizarre. I see a question in the chat. I kind of want to ask Runkle and other actual lawyers if Gingras is actually as incompetent, as unbalanced as we think. I have been reading his filings and going, what the hell are you doing? And the thing is like his client didn't need to be facing perjury charges and didn't need to be, because this is the kind of file where if the client comes to you with this, you're like, let's talk about how to get you out of this with the minimum possible damage. And this is the point where you reach out to the other side and you say, hey, listen, I know my client's a little crazy. I've been talking to my client. My client is, is coming around to, my client will leave you alone. Can we back away? What is it going to take for everybody to just back away from this and have it end quietly? And in the case of this, it would have probably been able to go away with something like a letter saying, I acknowledge that this never happened. Yep. And there is
that's exactly what she was offered.
She had lawyers who were trying to do that for her.
She was offered that multiple times. She refused.
And this is the thing. But he seems to have bought into her shit. And that's the problem, is that you cannot, you can't buy into your client's shit. You can advocate their position, but you can't and he seems to have gotten into a position where he was willing to do crazy shit because he so believed his client. And I mean, the stuff her and him appearing on a podcast together, I would have been like, God, no. You can talk if you want. I recommend against it. But we are not appearing on a podcast together.
But he never let her talk. He never let her talk. He would constantly interrupt her. But did you see this clip? Oh God, I got to play this for you because my God, I would like to have your reaction to this introduction to one of their little social media appearances.
It's douche canoe and pregnancy faker.
Yeah.
Sorry, repeat that?
Sure. One more time.
It's douche canoe and pregnancy faker.
Yeah.
Why would you introduce yourself? Like, this is the other problem he's got, which is that he is like, he's deep into his feelings on all of it. And, if you want to make a public statement, what you need to do is be professional, like wear your suit. That's a good thing. Good on that. But, you just introduce yourself and you say like, hi, my name is David Gingras, and I, as you know, represent Ms. Owens, who is standing here, behind me. And so this is, you may have heard some things about this case, and we're here to clear up some, some misconceptions or something like that. And, you don't go on this like, this rampant thing. This is a guy who's got hurt feelings. This is a guy who wants to lash out. And those are not things that you're doing for your client, right? You're not helping your client by lashing out. You're not helping your client.
I told him this so many times. I said, you're going to be the reason why she gets indicted. You need to stop this and be a lawyer. Get her to sign the paper that says, I lied. I need mental health. I'm going to go away now. And this all goes away. That's your job as her lawyer. There's nothing else for you to do. That's all you need to do. What he was doing by feeding into her delusions, by allowing her to continue. Oh my God, it allowed her to be indicted. It did.
Oh, he absolutely set the stage for her to get these criminal charges. And it's crazy. Like, and the other thing is sometimes you cannot stop your client from doing stupid shit, right? 100%. Sometimes your client is going to do dumb shit and you can't stop it. But what you can do is get out of the car and like make sure that if they're driving off a cliff, that you're not sitting there in the passenger seat beside them. So, there's never a client. Like, if you find, the thing is that you should also fire a client for conflict if you like the client too much. Because if you're sitting there and you're in a place where you think, it's a good idea to be doing baseball signals to your client, then you are too fucked up and too close to this to be on the file. You have to bail on that file right away.
Like, I never thought about that, like being too close to a client. That's actually true. Because if you're so close that you're not thinking straight and you're doing crazy things, that's not helping your client.
If you can't, for instance, have a serious talk with your client and go, hey, so I've heard what your argument is, and I'm not saying you're lying, but I am saying it's completely unbelievable. The court is not going to believe this argument that you're making. If you're not in a position where you can actually tell your client that, then you are too close to it. I wouldn't represent, for instance, if my wife was charged with something, because I don't know if I could properly evaluate.
It's like how surgeons can't operate on a spouse, or a child.
Yeah, it's like, would you be able to make, would I be able to listen to my wife's story and tell her whether or not it was bullshit? I'm too close to it. So that's the issue that we've got here is, Yeah, it's such a.
I know, it's crazy. Dawn Hazlitt, thanks for the 20. Says, if the facts are against you, you argue the law. And if the law is against you, you argue the facts. If the law and the facts are against you, you pound the table and yell like hell. Jingras does not have the facts. This is true. Liz Bird, thanks for the 5. Pup and Kitty said, I had to give you money because I caught up and Rumble is waiting. Sorry for the cross stream. Drowning in content on all cases. It's true. It's true. We have a lot going on. A lot.
There's so much stuff.
This is so funny. Keith PV House, thanks for the 5. Megan, it's been so weird seeing you laugh with guys who aren't Tug. It's funny, but I feel violated somehow. That's very funny. Well, don't worry. You can come back to Tug's channel tonight at 8. We'll be there. Poindexter, E. Poindexter, member for 2 months, says, Steal third. Jingras was confused. He thought he was coaching baseball. It was wild to watch it. It was wild in person. By the way, those of you who gave to the Give, Send, Go for my San Francisco trip to be in the courtroom and cover this case and bring you guys live coverage as live as I can. I don't know if there will be cameras in the courthouse for that. I appreciate it. Those of you who gave during this stream today, I got one from K-Mat Red Queen. Thanks for the 25. From Anonymous, 10, and from Terry for the 20. I appreciate you very much. Thank you. And if you want that link, it's pinned to the top of the chat. If you want to help me with my expenses while I'm in San Francisco, I'm a little concerned about going to San Francisco. Do I need the poop map? I'm concerned about that. I don't know. I don't really want to go.
I mean, don't lick the sidewalk, but that applies everywhere.
That's also true. It's very true. So I didn't finish your reading of Jingras's thing. I watched almost all of it and then I fell asleep because I was tired last night. But what was your takeaway from Jingras's filing? What do you? Because I'm on page 6 now and I still don't understand why he's filing it. Did you ever figure out why he filed this thing and what do you think is going to happen?
I mean, here's his big complaint. He's like, this implies that I was, that I can't be on this file. That there's some sort of, and at the end of it, I'm just like, this is a complete nothing burger by your own recitation. This is, you have hurt feelings about this filing. Like the thing is if I get off record, like let's say I've got a client and I go in and I say, Your Honor, conflict has arisen. And I'd like to get off record. And the judge says, okay, granted, Mr. Runkle, I'm off record. Cool. And then the Crown brings an application to have me removed as counsel of record. Or, barred from, like, they say, we need a declaration that Mr. Runkle has a conflict. I'd be like, if I filed anything on that, might be something like, I take no position on this other than to note that I'm already off record and that I won't be getting back on record. That might be, and the thing is if he'd done that, he might have actually got that entire application struck. Like just with that one sentence.
Yeah, I think that agreement to not get on the case again in the future is all they're looking for. That's all they want.
And that's the thing, that just one sentence would just be like, all right, the court might say, listen, this application is moot because there is no reason to have a lawyer, declared disqualified if he's not the lawyer on the file and he's not ever going to be the lawyer on the file again. We don't need to declare him disqualified. We're just going to proceed, and you can bring this application back again if there is some reason to do it. Like if he tries to, if he tries to get on record again, then absolutely you could do that. But yeah.
So what reminds me, this filing reminds me of the first filing that he issued that he put into the Maricopa case, and that was his request for more time to respond or something, and it was 40 pages. Did you read it, Ian? This was the one where he compares himself to, like, I don't know, he compares this case to
Please tell
Donald
me it's
Trump
Jesus.
and Donald Trump. No, Donald Trump. He literally brings up Donald Trump's case with that woman, that crazy woman who said this shit she said about Bergdorf's or whatever. He goes into his Trump derangement syndrome for 40 pages about why
There's not
he
really a
can't
good reason
respond.
to go into Trump here.
No, but he did again. If he had just said to the court in 3 lines, "I just entered the case. I need time to respond. Please give me an extension," he would have got it. But instead, he wrote 40 pages, and the judge was like, "Denied. You had time to write a 40-page reason why you need an extension. You could have responded."
Yeah.
What an idiot! Like,
that's insane. Like,
I
just
think, I think his feelings are hurt because nobody would go to lunch with him. I think.
Well, the motion to compel lunch. The funny thing is that, like, I can see the argument for it, but it's also kind of crazy. And, like, just don't file stupid shit like that. It's
yeah, don't file stupid shit. Ronnie's got a question.
For something, don't write it a giant essay. Just say,
say I need more time. And here's what, in 2 sentences. He could have done that in 2 sentences. Ronnie G wants to, thanks for the 5 on the super tips, by the way, says, Runkle, do you know how or why Dingus is off the FUD case? That's how he became on your radar, right?
Gingras? No, I was actually surprised as hell to see, because I already knew about Gingras from the Laura Owens stuff.
Oh, you did? Okay. I thought for some reason that it was the FUD case that caught your attention.
I knew about that before he got involved on the before the Fudbusters case was a thing. And, like, so far as I can tell, they haven't detailed why he's getting off on the Fudbusters case. But I strongly suspect it's like, so somebody's saying, what is the FUD case? So Fudbusters is a lawyer who also does a YouTube thing, and he also designs guns. And they are suing Cody LaRosiere, who's known for a couple of things. He's known for the Liberator pistol, which was this 3D printed absolute trash gun. And he's also known for doing the thing with a child. So anyway, he now runs this site where the allegations are that he steals content from other gun designers and posts it up on his page for pay, right? Where you have to pay money to get it. And there's other people who are, who are upset because they're like, I put this out for free. Why is he charging for this? Or I don't want this distributed at all. I gave this to a select number of like beta testers and he's got this out there. And in some cases, it's like, this is a beta version that was unsafe. And so why are you putting it out there as if it's a fully printable, functional thing? Like all of these kinds of allegations. But Fudbusters had an idea. He's like, well, if he's going to steal all this stuff, I'm going to I'm going to make a 3D printable gun. I'm going to talk about it extensively, and I'm also going to copyright register the heck out of it so that when they steal it, I can then go and sue them. So that's what he's doing. And I do see there's a declaration that he's filed, and it's a long declaration, but he's basically saying that there are some issues with respect to, hacking, which he blames on the Laura Owens community, but he also blames on, everybody else. So I do have to go into why he's getting off record, because he files a whole lot of stuff. And quite frankly, like, this is something I've been planning to go over since it dropped. But like he's withdrawing as counsel, but he's also like filing this huge long thing. So
Sounds
familiar.
Oh,
withdrawing as counsel, but filing this big long thing. You mean like this that I still haven't even got through, and I don't even care to? Like, chat, we're totally not getting to the end of this today. I don't care what David Jingras thinks.
It's 22 pages, and one of the things is that he got a notification that his page was hacked, and it doesn't look like it doesn't really look like it was hacked per se. One of the main things is that people went into the comment section and started leaving comments. And so he got flooded with comments about, about insults and so forth.
Wait, he called... so people leaving comments is getting hacked?
Apparently. No, I mean, some of the comments they left were
it's funny.
Some of the comments they left were pretty entertaining.
Wait, Greg Gillespie probably did it, because Greg is a master hacker. According to Laura Owens, Greg has hacked into everything, including in the time it took a time machine and hacked her computer in the past to put fake documents there. So.
Mostly he blames Mr. LaRosiere, the Fudbusters, for all of this, but
he should have blamed it on Gillespie. That was the clear answer. He screwed the pooch there. God. This guy is he's very entertaining to watch, though. He has provided us with a lot of content, he has. And if he wants it to stop, it's real easy. Quit being such a weirdo. Just be a normal lawyer.
This is the thing I've said about another lawyer who I won't name, but it's like, if you want people to stop covering you, stop being so freaking weird and entertaining. Because most lawyers, like when you cover their like a file that they're on, the coverage usually isn't about the lawyer. We might have some comments about the lawyer in the course of things. Like, I had some comments about Mr. Bowles in the Hannah Gutierrez Reed trial and how he was basically acting like a hat rack in his, in his client's, statement, which was bizarre. But it's very strange when you've got people, when the lawyer becomes the story. And that is not usually the thing, right?
Right. It's not normal. And when the lawyer becomes the story, you should know you're doing it wrong.
Bowles has gone on to do other trials, I'm certain, right? And you know what I'm not doing? I'm not doing videos going, let's follow the next stupid thing Bowles does, because he's just not that interesting. And that's a good thing, right? That's an excellent thing, right?
That's an excellent characteristic in a lawyer, is to not be that interesting. You don't want the media to catch attention of you.
Alessi's next file is probably going to be some sort of like, IP issue for like big corporations. And you know what? As much as I suspect he's going to be lawyering it with skill and absolute, rigor and so forth. But I'm not going to, like, what I'm not doing is I'm not sitting there going, whatevs, right? Yeah. I'm not going and following this thing to be like, all right, let's, it makes no sense. None of this, like, just be boring, just be uninteresting, because competence is uninteresting, right? It's like, all right, this lawyer's doing a good job. That's all you say. And then you just move on to the next file, right? Or the next thing.
I want to highlight one of the chats. So the chat has a lot of ideas for you of things they want you to look at or cover. Runkles should watch David Jingras' debate with Judge Rachel Juarez. Have you seen this?
I have not. Why is he debating a judge?
Oh boy.
Oh, Ian. Ian.
Why is he debating a judge?
I wouldn't even call it a debate. It's a
not.
discussion.
It's a slaughter is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
But Rachel Juarez she's a TV judge. She's a lawyer, and she's on television and she's a judge on TV, and she's quite intelligent and fun. And she started following this case. I don't remember how Rachel got involved, but anyway, at one point, because Rachel was on with Reality Steve, and they had a really good conversation about all the things David Jingras is doing wrong. And David which is everything. And David took offense at that. And so he said some nasty things about Rachel, and Steve invited him to come on and talk to Rachel and just like, let's just have it out. Why don't you do that?
God.
And he actually did.
Why?
And he got slaughtered. He got absolutely slaughtered. And you know what was funny is that Rachel, she barely speaks. She barely speaks the entire time. And I will send this. I'll send this to your email, Ian, or to Twitter or something, so that you can have it for later. It is so great to watch. You will love it. So it was episode 437. And whenever he got backed into a corner, what was it that he would say, Bruce?
Remember? He said his own name?
He would say, like, we need to move on, or whenever.
Yeah, we need to move on.
Or we're just going to disagree.
Did he said his own name in this hearing? Like in this, because like normally you can name yourself in these things, right?
Yeah, he named himself.
That's what he named himself.
Yeah, that's what he named himself, Dingus.
He's working on. So his PR campaign is kind of working on his stand-up routine, as far as I can tell. That's his approach to PR, is to try and craft a stand-up comedy routine.
I have no idea, like, if I'm going to hit on a moment that's great or anything, because it seems like it's all good. But I'll just play a couple. We'll see what happens.
Allowed for all the things to happen. But prior to trial, I had, and I think we agreed that 4 people testified, right? It was Clayton, Laura, and the 2 experts, Deans and Medchill. That was it, our cast of 4. I had binders and notebooks ready to go for like 10, including their forensic expert, Gillespie, Maricini. I had a full list of questions because I just naively thought that this 2-hour thing was maybe going to be flexible. But once Judge Mata told us in the morning when we first got there, she said, I'm not giving you a second more time. In fact, it was worse than that. When we walked into her chambers and had our initial sort of meeting, she said, look, there's something called invoking the rule. And invoking the rule, it's called the rule of exclusion. Normally, if you've ever been to a trial, people that are witnesses, expected trial witnesses, are not allowed to sit in the courtroom and watch. If somebody invokes the rule, it's if you're a witness, we kick you out. Okay. And so Mata said, if you want to invoke the rule, which is normally just to prevent witnesses from hearing what someone else said so they can kind of make their stories line up. It's a good rule. But she said, if you want to do that, I'm going to subtract the time it takes for people to walk to the courtroom from wherever they're waiting. And I've never, ever in my life had a judge say something like that. I appreciate Rachel's reaction.
You've never been in front of David Carter, have you?
I have not. I've done jury trials and bench trials, and judges, I think, generally look at flexibility as being the standard, because due process is not a judge.
Chad just told me that Echoes of the Tabernacle has this down in a
there's a supercut at the end of
as a supercut. Hold on.
It's pretty funny.
I found it.
This is very funny because he doesn't bother to invoke the rule of exclusion. Meanwhile, the witnesses would have waited in the hallway, which would have added like 5 seconds to their walk to the witness stand.
Yeah.
So there was no, instead of invoking the rule of exclusion, where his client is supposedly terrified of these men.
Yeah.
He calls 911 on them.
Yeah. He calls 911.
Of invoking the rule. I mean, make it make sense.
The thing is what you do is you invoke the rule and then you complain about it later. Like you make it an appeal issue, right?
Yeah.
Like something like that. But the other thing you do is if you've got 10 witnesses, you schedule the fucking time for 10 witnesses. You don't walk in and just be like, Judge, I've got this bonus stack of bullshit.
Yeah, I
that's
wish
how
they
you
had
get-
fought for 2 days. They needed a 2-day
And they
trial,
also contain
which is
adult
what we're
themes, adult concepts,
which
and
is what
adult
we're going to
language
get.
not suitable
Why
for children.
stop
But
talking?
You were
booking
just-
yourself.
You're not listening. It's just
Well-
like I don't get it. She is listening. She's listening to every word you say, and she's presenting something, and then you come back and shake your head and sigh.
Okay. Anyway.
Submit to an interview.
Wow. Stop. Well, if you let me. We're moving on to the next question. We're not gonna get very far with that. So
They can prove that this is not the first time she's done it. But even if you disagree with me,
felt like I was juggling a flaming chainsaw while having my leg bitten by a German Shepherd. Okay. All right. We're moving on to the next question.
what lawyer ever says that?
Well, you're welcome that I gave you that's such an easy way to roast me.
Allegations, you know it's a possibility you might not win something. We're talking about the
There's no chance you lost this appeal.
Yeah.
You will have this.
Rachel, here, can I offer you like a cookie or something? What do you want me to say? What do you want me to
Not
say?
that. Did you like our case?
I shouldn't have said that. Can we move on? Okay.
So pull it up.
I,
These statutes were invoked.
yeah. Okay. Hang on. You're getting. Okay.
But show me a case that says that, because your cases don't. I've read them all now. Just give me a quote from Holgate. Just give me a quote from Holgate.
Can you hang on? Can you hang on for just a second here? Okay. Lord. Okay. You are pretending. Wait. If you want me to stay on this, you need to let me have fair opportunity to answer. Okay.
David, of 58 minutes, you probably talked for 42 of them. Come on, man.
Okay, guys.
Hold on.
Let me.
I got the
Rachel.
case there.
Oh,
There's
God.
only the Rule 11. Hold on. There's other authority. What was at issue in
Keeps
that
poking
case?
himself in the eye.
We gotta move on. We gotta move on from that.
Is the whole point. Try to withdraw it. There were other issues before the court.
Oh, for God's Okay, Steve, can we move on? Because we're not going to get.
And then you come back and shake your head and sigh.
I know,
He
but
doesn't have any authority to infringe his copy or whatever that I interfered with his.
way before my time, way before I was there. Way before you.
Where are these children?
Okay, you ready?
Where are they, David?
Where are
This
the
is one
babies?
thing that I think everybody wants to know.
Okay.
She's still 6 months pregnant. Can I show my belly? How would she have a belly in November if she miscarried in July or August?
Look.
It's still not appropriate for her to include that finding.
So I think you get the point. This is quite the interview. I'm sending you the link because, oh God, and it's so amazing. It's so amazing. I wish we had time to do this all day, but I don't. I have to get going soon because I've got to get my daughter up to school. But I really thank you so much, Ian, for being here. And I hope that
is such a bizarre case.
I know. And I hope I've given you more stuff to look into and cover because, God, it should be covered. Everyone needs to. People love your take on this stuff, and there's so much wild, crazy shit that like you haven't even seen yet.
I mean, this is the problem. Is just this thing just it just keeps going. Like it's nonstop what they get up to on this one, and like. How do they actually just like this is one of the dangers of like working solo, because I think Gingras is solo, that he doesn't have a firm, because sometimes it can be useful
he has from people in the industry in his profession in his area. I have been told he has sandbox issues.
I don't know what that means.
That means maybe that's an American term, but we talk about playing in the sandbox together. So he does not play well with others. Is
like
what
in
that
preschool.
Means.
So he's just an asshole, is what they mean.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
It's a nice way of saying he's an asshole and no one likes him.
Yeah, that's fair. I get that, but like you need somebody sometimes where you can go and just be like, hey, am I the idiot on this file? And they can say, yes, you are. You need to dial this back. Like this is not useful. So
yeah, I feel like he wouldn't listen to that. Like that's why he is a solo practitioner. He doesn't there's no one that could say that to him. He doesn't take criticism, obviously.
Some level of coaching or mentoring that you're seeking out would be good. Yeah.
You need to be able to
although he kisses Randazza's ass all day long. He claims that Randazza is a friend of his and he just kisses his ass all day long. I wish Randazza would tell him to stop doing what he's doing.
I suspect Randazza is like, who the fuck is this guy? No,
I think they were on a case together, actually. I mean, I think he does know him. I mean, I've seen him respond to him on Twitter and stuff. He appears to have some sort of relationship with him. But it's funny. Also, I think Marty isn't it Singer? He's always saying he works with Singer as well. I don't know. He's just he's a twat. What can I say? I mean, the guy is a twat, and I have nothing but contempt for him. On our way out, we've got a couple of things to get. Well, let's see. I don't think I only have like 1 or 2 super tips, and I think 1 super chat, so we can get through that quick. Where was this? Yeah, here. Rozilla's Realm, thanks for the 5.
Want to make money hand over fist? Seek a job at Laura Owens Sperm Banks.
Oh,
Want to get a better reputation with no money down? We'll gulp it all without a frown at Laura Owens Sperm Banks.
Oh, Rozilla, stop embarrassing me in front of the nicest Canadian I know on YouTube.
that is terrible.
That is terrible. I repudiate that. Just
this
kidding.
Is why I have not installed that super chat audio thing. Because you get somebody coming in. Yeah.
It gets wild in here sometimes. DeFloofy Cat, thanks for the 5.
I can't go to court today. My husband need medical treatment and I have to be there.
Yep, Lynette Preston skipped her deposition today. We're going to see what Judge Grebe has to say about that. That's going to be a lot of fun, and tune in to Tug tonight because it's going to be wild. Judge Grebe is not going to put up with this crap. I can tell you that right now. He is a very serious judge. He's not going to put up with any of her crap anymore. The skip depositions ain't going to work. So we'll see, but yeah. And Rozilla said, check supers. I did. Thank you so much. And E. Poindexter, thanks for the 5. Why are all the worst lawyers so wordy? That's a good question, but they are. I don't know. Maybe not. Thanks for the 10 gifted memberships. Welcome to the Fox Den. It's weird here, but you'll get used to it, including the weird animal noises. And also, on our way out, I have pulled up my favorite song that I wrote for this case that Ian has not seen, I'm sure, because Ian does not have time to just watch this channel. So I'm going to leave us.
I don't have time to watch any channel. It's not personal. It's just I'm so insanely busy.
I know.
With the gun bans coming out here, I'm getting so much shit. It's like I'm just buried in like people asking questions and people all
I know, and everyone's
things.
after you to do ostrich talk too, and it's funny. I've been watching you on Twitter.
The ostrich one is annoying because at the end of the day, nobody's going to be happy with like the analysis. Here's the short version. All of the arguments being made are irrelevant. The ostriches are going to like the legal framework is such that the ostriches have no chance. And it doesn't everybody's missing the point because they're like, oh, we want to do testing. Doesn't fucking matter. We want to do this. We want to do that. It's like the poultry industry is something like $4 billion in Canada. And Canada has signed on to treaties requiring a stamping out policy.
That's the thing they should never have done. Never sign those policies with global whatever unions or whatever. Don't do that.
The thing
Why
is,
would
if you
you
don't
sign a?
Because otherwise, you can't sell poultry to anybody.
Well, they need to put like they need to rewrite that contract because it can't be a across the board stamp out when there's no evidence. If we don't have evidence that the flock is actually sick or capable of spreading this thing, you're talking about wiping out a farmer. Their
it doesn't
livelihood.
matter if they're sick now. That's the thing.
That's what's wrong with the contract. It should have been somehow so that you're not wiping out a farmer's entire livelihood in one for this.
I mean,
sickness.
here's the thing is that the law does provide some compensation. You can argue about the amounts of the compensation, and certainly, but you're never going to get a court to say we're going to eliminate a $4 billion industry.
Yeah.
No matter how cute the birds are. Like, it's just
they're so cute though. They're so great. I want to invade Canada. I'm ready to get in a van with a bunch of premenopausal moms and invade Canada and save the ostriches. Why can't we just bring them here? RFK said we could bring them here. Although
RFK is wrong about that because
how would you
no
even
way
do that?
There's no way the U.S. is moving the birds there because it'll destroy the U.S. poultry industry. Like,
I'm
hey,
sure
we imported a bunch of
we have so much
birds
room. We have so much room here to study them somewhere far away from whatever. I'm sure that could work.
Alaska.
Somewhere.
We'll put them in Alaska.
Yeah.
Alaskan.
But I just don't know how you would get them anywhere. Can you imagine putting them in a truck and trying to move them? They'd all
You
fall
can't
down and
move
break their
them. That's the-
legs. You can't move them.
I mean, they
Yeah.
can be driven around, but you can't move them because, like, one of the issues is that to test one of these birds actually requires like a lengthy process requiring repeated daily testing of an isolated bird, because you'd have to isolate every single bird so that they can't, interact with each other or they can't cross-contaminate. And you have to test them like multiple tests a day for like 2 weeks.
We
It's
don't care about this, Ian. We
incredibly
want to save the
expensive.
birds. we don't care about these minute details that mean we're not going to win this. We just want to win.
We could
I mean,
build little chairs or something if they can't stand up. I don't know.
And the thing is like RFK can say, hey, we're going to, we're going to bring these birds in. There is like if he actually was loading them into a truck, he'd be told like, slow your shit. No, we're not.
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah,
the
'cause
US
I don't
poultry
know how you would
industry
do it.
is like, if Canada's is 4 billion, the US has got to be like 40
Oh,
billion.
and we went through our culling like last summer. There was huge. That's why we had all those egg shortages. They were killing flocks of huge factories full of chickens, killing them all, and it was horrific.
Same thing.
But we don't care about chickens. Don't you get it, Ian? Nobody cares about chickens. Fuck the chickens. The ostriches are beautiful and they remind us of dinosaurs, and we can't have that. It's just I can't allow it. They're not
the other problem
chickens.
is that like at every turn this farm has also, like, from the court record, they've really failed to take necessary steps in order to preserve their argument. Things like
that's unfortunate.
Like they should have had nets over top of the facility, right? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because one of the big concerns is like they've got all this open water. Right now it's migratory bird season. That they're going to have ducks, they're going to have geese, they're going to have all of this stuff. And so the big concern is if you've got one ostrich that doesn't look sick but is sick, then suddenly you've now introduced this into a migrating bird that's going to stop at various places and blow up the entire industry. And so, like,
so do you think if they had those nets, would that have stopped this whole thing?
It would have given them a much better argument for, exemptions for this kind of thing. And,
that's
ultimately
unfortunate. They should have done that then. But I imagine that's very costly.
Yeah, they've failed to take those steps. But I mean, let's consider like the worst case scenario for the US, right? Some migratory goose lands there, gets sick, heads up to Alaska, and then like lands near some farm, coughs on some chickens, and they don't find the goose because how do you know which goose it is? But then come, when it's flying south again, well, now where are those birds landing? Where they're going to land all sorts of places, and it starts.
But I mean, avian flu can't get stamped out. We have it here in New York. It's all over the place. I'm constantly seeing reports. It's not like culling these 400 ostriches is going to stop the avian flu.
But it is required under these treaties, and it is.
I hate these treaties, Ian. I am not going to consent to this. I don't consent to this thing that has nothing to do with me in another country that isn't mine.
And this is the thing is, you know, I see people going like, why hasn't Polly ever gotten into this? It's like, because it's a guaranteed loss in court.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court.
I hate hearing that. I knew you were going to say this. I knew
Supreme
I had
Court
to
has
ask,
issued a
though.
temporary stay.
Yeah.
And the only reason they do that is on the basis of, well, if we don't give the stay, and it's only an interim stay until a longer stay argument can be made, right? So it's
Yeah.
only just like pause for a little bit and then, you know, whatever else. And yeah, it's and I see somebody saying if we don't kill humans who have flu, why do we kill birds? The same reason we don't kill humans for meat, but we do kill birds for meat. Like, you know, you can't go and buy like, you know, a pair of human thighs at the you know, at the grocery store.
It does seem a little cruel when you're talking about when you're talking about birds that are they're not chickens. Like, chickens are dumb. No one cares about chickens. And I just feel like it's like, are these 400 birds really going to be the death of everyone? I don't know. I know you're right, because I knew it was going to happen eventually, but it sucks. And I just wish they would look at the contracts and try to do something a little bit different so that there can be, but if there were nets and things they could have done and they didn't do, you're right. They should have done that so they could have mitigated some of this. Because I don't like that either.
You can say this sucks, and it's, you know, it's you know, and it's miserable and so forth. But at the end of the day, from a legal perspective, it's just like the court, and especially because if you look at like the Canadian history of administrative law, which is what this falls under. It's very deferential to decision makers. It's very much like they specifically say in the court decisions, it's not our place to evaluate this, like the disputed science that gets to be heard. That decision gets to be made by the CFIA. That principle in and of itself ends the case, right? Because it's like, even if the CFIA is made the
and
wrong
I would imagine
decision
they also
on that,
don't get to review those contracts either, because the government signed those, right? And
they certainly don't get to review international treaties.
Yeah,
like
no,
you know, the treaties are just a fact that exists, and
it's
that's
a
about
no-win.
it. And so, at the end of the day, that's it, right? It's
all right, fine. Thanks for bringing me down and sending me into a deep depression, Ian Runkle. All right, I got to go because I got to go get my kid to school, but I am sending you away.
But hey, if RFK is willing to take the birds, spoiler alert, he's not. He's just talking.
Not. He's just saying that.
You know, hey, go ahead, fill your boots. Like,
I've got a van.
I'm going to leave us up on the screen while I play this outro song, because I'm sure you guys want to see Ian's face when he watches this music video. So goodbye, everybody. Thanks for being here.
An attorney being arrested for an alcohol-related crime. I'm shocked. Shocked, I say. You really cannot make this shit up. No way. His second DUI, right? He had one in 2008. I did not have this on my bingo card, but here we are today. Hey, look at me, daddy, I'm a real criminal now. Look at me, daddy, I'm a real criminal now. DG passed the bar, but then kept coming back. I don't feel bad for him, his life has spiraled since meeting Laura, yet he never learns the knack. Carmageddon is upon us, no fucking way. No way, I'm gagged. Well, that's how Laura got into this mess today. Look at me, daddy, I'm a real criminal now. Look at me, daddy, I'm a real criminal now. Any day now, he's going to sue the entire internet into oblivion, and he and Laura are gonna win the bigliest. Anytime now. But Your Honor, I have a case I want to argue before the Supreme Court somehow. Oh man, you can't just yell. Rule 26 is a defense to this. Rule 26 will get him out of this. Look at me.
this on Spotify?
Look at me, daddy, I'm a real criminal now. Hope the cop had his body-worn camera on. I want to see that video. I wonder if he's compliant or mouthy with law enforcement. You know, he was hoping it'd be a while before this sub found out about this new DUI fiasco. Take his driver's and law license away at this point. Seriously, get an Uber. He's an asshole. No more cruising, no more joints. Look at me, daddy, I'm a real criminal now. Look at me, daddy, I'm a real criminal now. Instead of European vacations, go to rehab, sir. Maybe someone will let him use her lifetime Uber while his license is suspended for this. Or rent him a saddle and horse.
Reddit.
She could use the money to pay Clayton's fee for sure. He probably played the "Do you know who I am" card. I'm a famous internet lawyer who has been to France and has seen famous people. I was on Dr. Phil. I vacation on a yacht. I am the Conor McGregor of litigation. Oh, look at me, daddy, I'm a real criminal now.
He really said that.
Look at me, daddy, I'm a real criminal now. I want to laugh, but DUIs are just a stupid, awful thing to do. Let him and Laura rot in prison too. Looks like he won't be grazing his Chevy anywhere near my property anytime soon. The Levy was dry, but Gingy wasn't. See the example of all can, Massachusetts. What a zoo!